And welcome everybody to the Racetech V8 ESC Sprint Series, coming to you tonight from Interlagos in Brazil. I'm Clyde Whiting. In the booth with me is JP Bouzalon, and also on the cameras is Sam Boozin. JP, what are you expecting from tonight?
Hey Clyde, how's it going? Well, I think we have a few interesting races in front of us right there. Two reverse grids. You were saying before that. As I understand it, it's going to be a reverse grid from the first one, and then the last one is going to be reversed from the results of the second one. Am I correct?
Yeah, so we've got the standard race format for race one. So we're currently in a qualifying session with Johnny Brandon leading the way. Race two and race three will be full reverse grids from the previous races.
Right. Perfect. Yeah. So I think we'll see how these guys are going to handle Interlagos today. Pretty interesting track. Yeah, we usually see more downforce-based cars around there, but I think with this kind of flow that you can find on this track, it could be also very interesting in the V8 as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see the battles we get, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. How do you think, like?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's definitely a rhythm track. It's got everything in it that you want from a racetrack. It's got fast sections, it's got twisty sections, it's uphill, it's downhill. Some people love it, some people hate it. For me, races two and race three are going to be the interesting ones, with the fast guys starting near the back and trying to see if they can pick their way through without getting too much damage.
Exactly. I'm also very curious to see how they are going to make their way into the traffic. Fortunately, the track is quite wide, so I don't think there's going to be much of an issue there, but we never know. I mean, we'll see. And yeah, go on.
Yeah, just picking up on what you said there about the wide track. It is a wide track, but there is really only one racing line through, a lot of the sections. So whether the faster guys, when they need to come through, are going to risk putting a nose in somewhere where it's either not wanted or unexpected and cause a few problems, we'll have to wait and see. But as we were saying off air just before we started, the champion of this series, when we get to the end of it, is going to be the person that can navigate through the traffic from the back and maximise a points haul at every meeting.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to require, I guess, excellent driving skills, but also good thinking, racecraft, all that jazz.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation for a driver because you've got to be patient and try and keep the car clean, but you also know you've only got 20 minutes to get to the front. So, it's risk and reward time.
Yep, and that's what we like to see here. So perfect.
Most definitely. So qualifying is over. Johnny Brandon takes the first pole of the season, with George McClay in second, Tony Kloosterman in third. So usual names up the top.
How easy. Yeah, we've got still a couple of people out there. Let's see if they can improve their times. She's about to cross the line. Oh, but he clips the grass. I don't think that's going to be much of an improvement there. And he goes to pits. Okay. As Corey might get another lap there.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Corey there. Obviously, we've got a couple of new drivers to the series. We've got Chad Parker and Corey Clark, both racing tonight with us for the first time. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
Yes, warm welcome to these guys. Hello, welcome to the league. We hope you enjoy yourselves. I think you will, to be honest. And we'll see. Maybe we have a couple of new top 10 contenders right there.
Yeah, as we know from our previous V8 races, anything can happen. So, it doesn't matter where you start on the grid. There can always be a little bit of chaos in front of you, and you can make up quite a few places.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to play with a bit of luck each time. But in the end, yeah, that's not really luck that gets you the championship, is it?
No, I think my experience of this car and this league, luck can get you a good points haul in one race, but you can't trust luck for the whole season. The cream usually rises to the top.
It does.
So, quick rundown of our starting grid. We have Johnny Brandon on pole position, followed by George McClay, Tony Klusterman, Mike Taliancic, and Harold Stadler. And over to you, JP.
Yeah, then we got in sixth position Victor Tanaka, then Dave Jansen, Gary Croft, Lane O'Connor, and Michael Mueller in 10.
And in 11th position, we have Erling Bomer, Greg Branch in 12th. Corey put it on the grid in 13th. Greg Carr in 14th. And Adam McNally in 15th.
Right, followed by Pete Bingham, Ronald Moons, Andrew Hoffman, Ben Gillet, Chad Parker, and Michael Frost, having the last position of the grid. And I think we still have 1 minute to go, Clyde.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the rest of the cars to grid now, and then we will have a great big puff of smoke, and off we'll go into turn one. So, put you on the spot, JP. Who's going to win this race?
Right, I was going to ask you that. You know what? My money is on McClay, really, because George has been. I was following him on practice, and he's done really good work, to be honest. And he's got second place here with a really strong pace. So yeah, it would be good to see him up there.
But Johnny Brandon takes some beating.
That's right. And we got green flag.
Looks like a clean start so far from everybody.
And as we dive into turn one, it looks pretty tame so far. Ooh, who's having a moment there? It's Lane O'Connor, sliding all over the place. He catch the door, good work. I hear there's a contact with Nick Mueller. He's missing his rear wing. That's not good. What's happened there?
Yeah, it's hard to tell from that replay. He just seemed to go out wide. A little bit of contact between three cars, and looks like Mick came off work.
Yeah, he had a slide going on the rumble strip on the left, and couldn't catch it, and he was hit from behind. Racing incident. Oh, Stadler is going around. Nothing major, didn't hit anything, that's good.
So coming round to finish lap one, Johnny Brandon has pulled out a little bit of a lead. Tony Klusterman is all over the back of George. And Mike Taliancic has dropped off a little bit in fourth place. Maybe he's fuel saving. You know what he's like for his fuel save? Oh, George has just
George in the
gone
grass, yeah.
wide. Oh, and he's lost it as
No.
well on the rejoin. Cursed by JP.
I'm so sorry, George. He's alright though. He still can get a few positions back. If he carries on. Yeah, he's carrying on. But yeah, I think now the top 5 is going to be pretty much impossible for him. Well, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, so Clyde, as you mentioned before when we were off stream, we did run this track once before, didn't we?
We certainly did. Yeah, way back in season 3 was the last time we visited Interlagos. My great memory tells me that we had some really good racing, but I'm sure somebody will find the video and prove me wrong.
I can say, because I have no memory of this as well, so either I wasn't there or I was very drunk, which is possible. So I don't know.
Or both. So I just had a look at the front runners, and Johnny has got a nice lead now over Tony. Mike Taliancic in third. I think he's trying everything he can to keep with Tony, but Tony seems to be dropping him. And Victor Tanaka in fourth is now starting to put the pressure onto Mike. So things hotting up at the front.
Yep. As we have all the battles going on, Ronald Mood is all over the back of Stadler. This one's Stadler, who's dropped a couple positions from the start. So we'll see if we can get that back.
Yeah, midfield is still very, very close.
Yeah. They are only a few tenths between each cars. At the moment, I think only one car was in the pits. It's not there anymore.
So JP, obviously sprint races, no fueling, which will mean no tyres. How do you think these cars will handle after 15, 16 minutes around here?
Well, I think they should be still kind of okay right at the end of the race, especially since the track is a little bit cooler than the usual, 20 degrees. I'm not sure what it is in Fahrenheit. You'll have to excuse me on that. But basically the trouble is with the sprint races is that you really want to put the hammer down, you know, you really want to get that position almost at any cost. So you're not doing your tires any favors. And oh, there's a slight contact between Tanaka and Taliancic. Okay, nothing major. But yeah, as I was saying, you see a lot of guys like locking up the front just right now, and when you're playing too aggressive, you really can't do that for too long with this car, can you?
No, that's right. And what do you think causes the fronts locking up? Is it just over aggressiveness on the braking, or do you think people have actually got their brake bias set wrong?
That's a good question. Well, yeah, it could be either of those. I'm guessing, from my experience, most of the time when I'm locking up is that someone in front of me is braking earlier than I probably would, and so I'm just braking too hard and locking up the front. Or yeah, you're right, brake bias can play a little bit with that fact, but I mean, if we look at the top five right here, Brandon, Klusterman, Talencic, Tanaka, even Johnson, everybody knows exactly what they're doing, you know. So I'm really not sure it's a brake bias problem here.
Yeah, good battles at the moment. Victor and Mike are really going at it at the moment. We saw Erling make a pass, and also Mick Muller in his Mullered car, still in the top 10 and going well.
And oh, there was slight. Was it a contact? Yeah, slight contact between Tanaka and Taliancic again. Well, okay, I'm guessing you're seeing that on the replay now. It looks like. Oh no, okay, he slides it on the braking zone. I thought it was netcode, but it looks like it just slides on braking zone and then hit Taliancic, and now it's going into the inside.
Yeah, Victor is putting all sorts of pressure on Mike at the moment, but Mike is staying strong and he seems to be up for the challenge. However, that is letting Tony get away in second.
Yeah, that's really the how do you say that in English? But the problem you have really in sprint races is that do you attack or do you just hang back, knowing that there are cars behind you and you're losing time to the guy in front? And sometimes that's just too much of a risk to try and take the position.
Yeah, that's right. And like you say, because it's a sprint race, you can't even work together with the driver in front to try and catch up, because you just don't have that time.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, lock up from Mike there, and I think Victor might have him this time.
He's done it. He's done it. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's very late on the brake there. Oh, almost ended up in massive disaster. But I mean, great control of the car right there. It's really impressive to see.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mutual respect between these two drivers. They're both very fast, and it looks like they're just going to be passing each other for the whole race.
It looks like so, yeah. And you're right, there's a lot of respect going on. I mean, these guys, whoa, as we say that, it's just, yeah, I mean, these guys, they've been racing in this series for a very long time now, so they know each other very well, and they know their strengths, and yeah.
I just had another look at Mike's pass, and I can't believe he managed to throw it in there and still slow the car down.
I know. It's really a show of skills right there. That's so good to see, I'll tell you.
And this is also bringing Dave Jansen back into it as well. These two battling.
Good old Dave. Getting a piece of the action.
Yeah, Dave will be up there soon swearing at himself, so... But this battle is fantastic.
I mean, look at that. They've been side by side the whole lap. It's ridiculous. That's brilliant to see, really.
Yeah, because normally, one car gets past the other one and then disappears into the distance, but not this time.
Yeah, as you get further up the field, and you've got people with much pace, and that's where the battle gets really interesting. And I think we reached that point here.
Yeah, and I think Mike is just so good on the brakes. Victor seems to be pulling away a little bit, and then the next braking zone, Mike's just later on the brakes, and he's with him again.
I think you're right. Yes, He seems more effective on the brakes. That might have something to do with the setup, the way he set up his car. I don't know really. I don't know. It could be. But at the moment, this is very exciting, I've got to say.
Yeah, and apologies to Johnny and Tony, but we just can't leave this battle at the moment. And Dave Jansen is now right up with them.
Yeah.
And Dave is dragging Gary Croft with him as well.
I see Ben Galates in the pits. I'm not sure what happened to him. He's had some damage.
It was probably Ian's fault.
Yeah, we're gonna put the blame on Ian.
So the Victor Mike battle seems to have calmed down a little bit now.
Okay. Right, so Erling is having a look on the outside here in the front stretch of Greg Branch. Both late on break. No, can't have the move done just right now.
And nice to see Greg sporting his new livery as well. Have to mention liveries as our good friend Chaz Draycott isn't here, and he would be creaming all over the place about liveries at this point. So we're into the last 5 minutes of race one now. Yeah, closest battle is this one. Erling's looking every which way he can, but Greg is certainly making that car wide, JP.
Yeah, he's really starting to get the defensive line there, and then doing all he can to just keep Erling at bay, but it seems really evenly matched right now, but we'll see in the front stretch. Erling got the draft, maybe he can outbreak him, we'll see.
Yeah, again, I think Greg seems to be stronger in certain parts of the circuit and Erling in others. I'd like to see a little bit more side-by-side action because Mick Mullard's car isn't that far behind them.
Oh. Right, so Dave just overtook Talienchich there. Gotta find what it was. Okay, yeah. Very nicely done from Dave. Who's looking for a fourth position, even maybe third. Come on, Dave.
Yeah, he's doing well, Dave. I hate this car, Jansen.
Yeah, for a guy who hates the car.
But actually, he's Dave. I hate this car and this track, Jansen, this week.
Is it?
Oh, Mike's going up the inside. Dave's held his line.
Yeah, they're coming on the straight now. I think Mike has... Yeah, he's got the run.
Yeah, and Gary's just sitting behind them saying, please come together and I'll get 2 places.
That's right. Oh, everybody's playing it safe. Oh. Just a left up from Dave there. As he dropped a couple position, he must be furious.
I wouldn't like to be in the room with Dave at the moment. But all is not lost. There's still a couple of laps left.
Yeah, he can still do it. He's maybe counting for a mistake or error from Gary Croft.
So just to let you know what's going up at the front, obviously Johnny Brandon is still in the lead. He's got nearly a 5-second lead over Tony Kloosterman.
Wow.
And Victor Tanaka is a further 9 seconds behind them. Pete Bingham with a nice drift around the corner there. Mind that paint, Pete. It's actually nice to see Pete still going after 11 laps. This must seem like an endurance race to him.
You're being hard on him.
So, Erling has passed Greg. And Greg is missing a bonnet.
I missed that somehow.
I think Greg has been missing a bonnet for a while.
He went past Erling again. I think Erling got a slowdown or something. I'm not so sure what happened there, but he gave back the position. So now Moons is near him. And Maclay, after his unfortunate event at the beginning of the race, is now into position 10, which means he went back from last to 9th, which is incredible. Well done on him. And I believe this is the last lap, is it? Okay, let's have a look. Johnny Brandon, halfway up there.
Johnny Brandon all on his own at the moment.
Yep.
Currently on the infield section. And looking good for the first win of the series. And last place for race 2. He was very close to having another lap. And congratulations to Johnny Brandon.
Brandon for the victory. Quite a sizable one as well. 5 seconds away from Kloosterman, I believe. Well driven.
Victor Tanaka crosses the line in 3rd.
Oh, Mueller's out of fuel. Oh no, he gets past by 2 cars. Oh, poor lad. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Right at the end, he runs out of fuel.
Yeah, you're always better off with a gallon too much in this car.
Oh, that's so very true.
So, JP, end of race 1. Usual suspects at the top. How do you reckon they're going to get on coming through the field?
Very interesting. I think um, we'll have a look. I mean, obviously, we the guys at the front are a lot faster than the others, and we'll see if they are able to just go and make passes without pushing too much pressure, on the slower guys. That we see that very often. When you have a very fast driver behind you, well, he doesn't take any chances. If there's an opportunity, they're usually quite forceful and they take it. We'll see how it goes for this one. And what's also interesting is that Maclay, or is it, yeah, Maclay with his misfortune, is going to start ahead of us. Sorry, ahead of the faster guys, which might give him a chance at winning the second one. We'll see. We'll see.
We certainly will. So your finishing order for race one is: first place is Johnny Brandon, second place Tony Kloosterman, and rounding off the podium is Victor Tanaka. In fourth place is Mike Taliancic and Gary Croft with a very well-deserved fifth place. Over to you, JP.
Yep. Followed by Dave Jansen, very good results, P5, sorry, P6. Lane O'Connor, then George McLeay, which had an unfortunate accident and came out last on the first lap. He still managed to get back to eighth. Then followed by Greg Carr, Michael Mueller without a boot, Greg Branch, Erling Bomer, then Ronald Moons, sorry, Pete Bingham, Michael Frost, Harold Stadler, Corey, one of the new guys, Andrew Hoffman, Adam McNally, Ben Gavate, and Chad Parker, I think, did not finish this race. Over to you, Clyde.
Yeah, so all in all, a good opening race for the season, and I'm looking forward to race two. Like you say, there's some fast cars starting at the back. George McClay will be starting mid-pack. So yeah, can George get through the slower cars at the front, and then can the faster guys at the back catch George? Stay tuned, and we'll find out. And welcome back, everybody, to the Racetech V8 ESC Sprint Series and round 2 from Interlagos in Brazil, brought to you by ECA Racing TV. Back in the booth again is me, Clyde Whiting, and alongside me is JP Boozalon. JP, what are you expecting from race 2 with a very hot track of 109 degrees?
I expect a lot of sliding, like really a lot. That's what I want to see. Yeah, with those track temps, I mean, these cars, I mean, it's difficult as it is, but this here is going to be like driving on ice after a few laps, I guess. Although it's only a very short race, 20 minutes. Well, we'll see how the drivers are able to manage their tires and well avoid any crashing.
Yeah, I think tyre management. I get my teeth in straight. Will probably be the key to this race. I think drivers can make up a lot of places at the start, but they run the risk of cooking the tyres and suffering at the end of the race.
That's right. I mean, you can really just full send it for the first 5 laps, and you'll still be good. But after that, you'll suffer the consequences. That's for sure.
Yeah, and again, as we spoke about in race 1, with the faster drivers starting at the back, it's risk and reward time again. Do they use their tyres up early, trying to gain as many positions as they can, or do they manage their tyres and just pick people off steadily throughout the race? Um, the further they go up the field, the harder cars are going to be to pass. So, um, although we didn't mean to, the series to go like this, I think the dynamics of it is just fantastic. It's a 20-minute full-on tactical race.
I think it's brilliant, to be honest. It gives a chance to the slower driver to go up top, and yeah, add some kind of challenge to the faster guys. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm guessing after 10 laps, everybody will be really happy not to be dead. You think? You know?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to ask you again. Who are you putting your commentator's curse on for this
Ah,
race?
please don't do that
After
again.
you ruined George's races in race 1.
I've already killed one guy. Uh, tough choice, tough choice. I'm still really on board with George for this one. But I don't know really. As you said, the dynamics are so different with this race and the reverse grid that basically anything can happen. So it's really hard to predict. I'll just say that George, I'm behind you. I believe in you, mate. So just go on, give it all you have, and I'm hoping you'll have a great result again. Right. And we have 40 seconds to go until the grid. So Clyde, will you be racing next weekend then? For the main series?
Most definitely, yes. I had planned on racing tonight, but a couple of the commentators couldn't make it, so I've stepped in at short notice. But yes, I will most definitely be there next week and looking to win both races.
Of course, yeah, I never doubted you.
I'm sure I'll be fine as long as you don't tip me for the win.
Well, I'm not commentating on this one, so I think you're fine, mate.
And your good self, will you be racing?
We'll see. We'll see. If George wins this one, I'll be racing. Okay, so can we have a rundown on the grid, Clyde?
And so your starting grid for race 2, pole position, Ben Gillet. Second place, Adam McNally. Third, Andrew Hoffman. Fourth, Corey Clark. And fifth, Harold Stad.
And then we got Michael Frost in 6, sorry, Pete Bingham in 7, Ronald Moons in 8th, Erling Boehmer in 9th, and Greg Branch in P10.
And that will have to do because I can't see the rest of the grid.
Okay, doesn't matter, we're about to go green flag.
And green, green, green. Off we go.
Oh, we got a terrible start by Corey there. I think he almost started before the green flag. Ooh. Oh, massive. Okay,
Oh,
massive
I
crash
believe
going on
that's
at turn
George
1.
again.
Taliencic managed to go through. I don't know how he done that. Oh, Tony's upside down. Well, no, sorry, facing the wrong way. And I believe Tanaka started from the pits. And he did well.
Probably the safest place to start.
Yeah.
On the plus side, you've cursed George again.
Are you kidding me? Oh, no.
Okay, let's just have a look at this start again.
Yeah, I think a few people got overexcited at the start over there, and who was it? Hold on. It was...
Yeah, terrible start from, I believe that was Corey.
Yeah, there was a contact between Erling Boehmer and, I believe, Greg Branch, which started a chain reaction and eventually led to the deaths of many people.
Yes. So, replay on the screen at the moment of Mike Taliencic trying to come through the field, and it looks like he's going to try and thread the eye of the needle there. No. Nice move down the inside.
Right,
So back to the front. That carnage has left Adam McNally in the lead for Excite Racing. Adam takes part in a lot of the series on iRacing, although he's pretty much a novice in the V8, but he's doing well at the moment with Harold Stadler close behind him.
yeah, Harold is putting some pressure nicely over here, but I think McNally is having a strong pace right now.
Adam's a very, very good defensive driver. I think where he lets himself down is he gets overexcited with the loud pedal, and you quite often see his car sideways rather than the way it should be facing. But he's got something to defend here, so bit of a wiggle under brakes there. But let's see how he gets on.
Yeah, at the moment it's enough to keep Harold at bay. But yeah, as we said earlier, with that temperature, you really want to minimize as much as possible the slides and the wiggles and everything. in order just to keep your tires a little bit cool, you know, and keeping that grip and
Yeah, just watching back in the pack, Mike Taliancic is working his way through quite nicely, currently up to 6th position. Johnny Brandon, Victor Tanaka, Tony Kloosterman are all still well down the field after the first corner incident.
yeah, I just saw Mueller had an incident with Gary Croft just earlier on this lap. He went wide into the grass and almost touched the barrier. Oh, he did.
Yeah, I think I saw the back end of that. I actually think Mick thought he was in a lawnmower for a minute, the way he come across the grass.
That's right, a lawnmower with 650 horsepower. And now he has a good run on McClay.
Harold Stadler has just taken the lead at the end of the start-finish straight. Adam McNally was very squirrely on the brakes. Harold went up the inside and has taken the lead.
Nicely done by Harold.
There's a replay on the screen at the moment. You watch Adam, Harold, nice clean move. Very, very good driver, Harold. Joined us last season and has come on leaps and bounds. He's most definitely he should be a top 10 driver every week, but I'm expecting him to push for top 5s and podiums this season. JP, what do you think?
Yeah, I've been watching him here and there for the past couple of seasons. Although I wasn't really much here, but yeah, I always found that he seemed to have good pace, but didn't have really good results. Correct me if I'm wrong, Clyde. And that's the kind of driver. I mean, you see have potential, and you wish for that little bit of luck. You know, you wish for that day when he can finally have good results and make all the efforts worth it. You know.
Yeah, I think Harold had a couple of good results at the end of the season, but it's been good to watch his progression. And, you know, with this car, I wouldn't argue, a lot of people say is the hardest car to drive on the service. But for the people that have come in, tried it, done 2 corners and say, I don't like that, you know, have a look at Harold's. He's persevered with it and is steadily making his way up, you know, to be a championship contender.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And when you see he drive right now, I was watching him when he was back when he was behind Adam McNally, and you could see that his car was way more straight, you know, on the ground. I don't know if you see what I mean. Compared to McNally, who was basically sliding all over the place, he was really on the line, you know, and not drifting or anything, really stable. And that's probably why he's way ahead right now.
And that's where you make up time in this car. It's you know, it's being steady, not spinning the wheels up, not drifting round the corners. You know, and Harold seems to have a nice rhythm for it, and you know, it's nice to see him doing well. Just going back on the fast guys again, Mike Taliancic is now up to 5th. Johnny Brandon has got himself up to 6th. Tony Kloosterman is still struggling, and Victor Tanaka is in the middle of the pack as Hoffman goes off and does some grass cutting of his own.
Ooh. Dave Jensen, who got Tony right behind him.
Yeah, we got Ronald Moons up in 4th place at the moment. Big shout out to Ronald because he helped us a hell of a lot with the initial startup of the series. Ronald is racing for Race Masters this season, which I'm a little bit upset about because he did promise me that his original team, Racing in Socks, was coming back, but it doesn't look like that happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember him being in that team.
Yeah, I remember the logo with RIS
Yeah.
on the side and a big sock.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, the livery was good actually. I liked it. Looks like we have a gaggle of 1, 2, 3, 5 cars behind Ben Delate. Oh, great car! That's a mess of the last turn.
Greg Carr is now pulling the same move on Adam McNally into turn 1. Um, Next up is Ronald. Will he be able to do it as well? Adam is looking very, very wild, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's coming up on the halfway point, and I think this is where the drivers will start struggling,
Hmm.
especially the ones that have used their tyres up.
Do you reckon he possibly didn't change the tire pressure or something like that? Could it be?
Yeah, possibly. To me, it looks like he's got his brake bias wrong. I think he's got too much rearward brake bias because every time he comes into the hard braking zones, the back end of the car is snaking all over the place.
All right. Speaking of tire pressure, Clyde, since you've been driving this car for a very long time, how do you think? Um, I mean, what's your opinion on what's going on right now with the tire model on the V8? Or do you think it has
Uh,
improved a lot, or?
I think there's been slight improvements. However, I do believe the tyre model is rubbish at the moment. Um, I, a lot of the skippy. Oh, hang on, Adam's just lost it
Ooh,
into
Adam
turn one.
sideways there. Was there a contact from?
No, that was under braking again.
Okay.
So yeah, just going back on the tyre model. Speaking to some of the guys that drive the Skippy a lot, they rant and rave about the new
Oh,
tyre
we got
model.
three wide with Johnny Brandon. Oh, I backed up at the last minute. Still got the run on McNally, I think. Oh, McNally braking early. Yeah, sensitive move there.
Yeah, I
Yes.
don't think Adam's races with those two. I think Adam needs to concentrate on Ronald.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, mate. Just carry on. I was just.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, the Skippy guys rave about the new tyre model, so it would be nice to see it implemented into the V8. Whether that comes with the promise of the new cars, we'll wait and see.
Hmm.
And from a tyre pressure point of view, it really depends on who you talk to. I know some of the guys like to run extreme low pressures. I'm a sort of middle of the road kind of guy. It's really a tricky one. Within our team, we're doing a lot of work with rather than adjusting tyre pressures, making other adjustments and starting to see a few benefits. Chris Jackson is putting a hell of a lot of work in the background. So yeah, I think it all. Oh, Adam is so wild. Yeah, it's personal preference, I think. And
Okay.
Ronald gets the move done on Adam.
Yeah, very nicely done there by Ronald.
And Johnny has gone past Mike as well at some point, which
Yeah,
I missed because I was watching Ronald and Adam.
I think that was just right now. Oh no, no, I'm wrong. Sorry. That was a lap before.
So current top three, we've still got Harold in first, Greg Branch in second, and we've got Johnny Brandon in third, I believe.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get at least another position, I guess. He's so quick. If you look at the lap times, 1:34 is his
Yeah.
fastest. Whereas if you Talienchit has done a 1:36 so far. So yeah, he's doing his alien thing.
Yeah, Adam and Ronald are still going at it. Adam's got past Ronald again, which is bringing Pete Bingham into the picture, currently running in seventh. And if these guys carry on fighting, Pete's going to be right with them.
Oh, and we missed that, but Moons was overtaken by McNally.
Yes, he certainly was.
Yeah. Looking for revenge right now.
And this is where Pete needs to be clever. The two guys in front of him, if you watch them, they're really giving it the full beans, and the cars are sliding all over the place. Pete just needs to cruise up onto the back of them, keep nice and calm, and just pick them off one at a time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes you just want to sit back and relax for a little bit and see how it goes in front of you, instead of taking unnecessary risks.
Yeah, I think the only problem Pete's got, just looking at the scoreboard, is Victor is closing on Pete as well. Now, Victor will not sit back, be calm, and pick them off one at a time.
Nope.
Victor will try a move that takes all three of them in one corner.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Pete got a little bit of slide. I think he ran into Ronald Moods as well.
Yeah, Victor's
He's
gone
lost
past
a couple
him.
positions there. Mueller doesn't have the straight line speed, but he's still gonna make the move. Yeah, he's got loads of damage on the back of his car, Mueller. Let's see if Pete can catch up to him, since he's got a brand new car currently.
So Mick's car is mullered again.
Yeah. And Pete's car is pristine.
Yeah, that's because he's under team orders not to scratch it.
Oh, I see.
This season we're charging for body panels.
Whoa. I'm really happy I'm not on your team, mate.
So Victor's now got past Ronald as well. His next target is Adam McNally.
Oh, yeah, Johnny just passed Greg Branch, as Sam just told me. Going into turn one right now.
Well, I think Harold's got this one in the bag with just over 2 minutes to go and a 7-second lead.
I hope so, yeah. There's like, what, 1 or 2 laps left, maybe? Possibly 1. Let's see, we'll see when he crosses the line, but it does look good for Harold right now. And I hope he can bring it home. Okay, there's gonna be 2 more laps. No, 2 laps with this one. Okay. Tanaka is trying to make a move on McNally. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Easy there. I mean, you were right. He doesn't wait. That's for sure.
Victor goes for gaps that nobody else sees. A lot of the time, he frightens you off the track or out of the way because you're just not expecting him to go
Yeah.
for the overtake
Mm.
where he does it. And I think that's why he gets so many places.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that he overtook me quite a few times, and every time it's really scary. But to be fair, it's also safe. You don't see it. You can't believe it's safe, but it's Tanaka. You know, he just knows how to handle this car, and he can basically just throw it into a corner, make it stick, go around the outside, no problem. And you just like you look through your side window, and you're like, what? Is that real? And yes, it is.
Exactly, yeah, that's exactly what it's like. And you sit in your car behind him, thinking, how did he do that? There was no way he could have done that, but I've just witnessed it.
Yeah. Okay, Stadler now very close to finishing in first. Yeah, I really don't think Brandon will be able to catch him now.
No, and just for the viewers, we did actually get a track map out during the races. We was going to be very, very clever and call out corner names as we was going around, but both myself and JP decided that we just couldn't pronounce them, so we won't bother.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to be an offense to the Portuguese people, so yeah.
And well done, Harold Stadler crosses the line to take victory in race 2.
Very well done. Congratulations to Harold.
Johnny Brandon comes over the line in second place with Greg Branch a very, very respectable third.
Oh. Oh yeah, you're right, Sam. Ben was out of fuel on the line.
Yeah, I think he lost 2 or 3 positions there.
Yeah, he did. That's just teammates. Right, and that was a really good race, mate. I mean, I enjoyed that. And I think I learned my lesson, and I will never say anything about anyone winning the race before it starts.
Well, you've got to get race 3 right.
No, I can't do that. I mean, you know what, Clyde, since you're so clever, maybe you do the pronostics for next race.
Okay. Okay, so we're just waiting for the official result to come up, and there it is. So, very well deserved win for Harold Stadler. Joining him on the podium in second place is Johnny Brandon, and third place Greg Branch. Mike Taliancic got up from the back of the grid to fourth, and the hard-charging Victor Tanaka finishes fifth.
And six is Adam McNally, whom started in second, followed by Mick Mueller, started in 11, gained 4 positions. Well done, Mick. Ronald Moods in 8th, Pete Bingham in 9th, Tony Klosterman in position 10.
And in 11th, we have Dave Janssen, who managed to pip his teammate Ben Gillet on the line, who finished 12th.
Yeah. Followed by George McClay in 13 positions. Sorry, George. Again, commentator, of course. Andrew Hoffman then, and Corey Clark in 15.
And then we have Greg Carr in 16th, Gary Croft in 17th, Mike Frost in 18th, Erling Bomer in 19th, and Lane O'Connor in 20th after the carnage from turn 1.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We've enjoyed that a lot, and I think the next one is going to be even better, Clyde.
But yeah, more of the same, but hopefully without the lap 1 carnage.
Oh, come on, everybody loves that. Right. Shall we have an interview? Yeah. Let's bring up Pete Bingham, shall we? There you go. Oh, hold on. Pete Bingham, hello, mate. How is it going?
Hey, man, you okay?
Yeah, all good, all good. So, how was the race, man? Tell me all about it.
Well, it was a bit strange towards the end. I expected more of the fast guys to catch me up, and they didn't. But I was just talking to Mike in the interview room, and he said that there was some pile up on turn 1 on the first.
Have you not seen that?
No, not yet. No, I was gone by then.
Oh, okay, you went through it. Yeah, okay. There was a massive, massive pile up, yeah. But you were lucky to escape. Good for you then.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
so you finished with very well earned top 10, top 9 even. Very well done, mate.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Could you maybe tell us about how the tires were at the end of the race? Because I saw that it was very hot conditions out there.
It was. Now, I cooked my tyres in the previous race where it was colder, so I was taking it a lot more steady than I probably should have done in that race. And I had Ronald lock up and kind of do a half spin, and he caught it. But I did the same thing, so I lost my momentum. And then I got swallowed up by a whole load of fast guys. But yeah, the tyres, they heated up pretty quick, and they melted pretty fast in that second one.
Yeah, we could see that people were having more and more issues with keeping the car straight.
Yeah, there was a lot of people going kind of too hot into a lot of the left-handers. I don't know what the problem with left-handers is. Maybe it's because you do more of the faster right-handers, and it heats those tires up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe that could be a reason. Yeah. Did you run a very different tire pressure from the first race, or?
Yeah, I raised my tire pressures a little bit in the fact that only because of the fact that I was running so hot in the first race, and I had no front end grip at all in the first one. I had much more at the end of the second race, but I was surprised that no one was passing me faster than they were. But now I understand why. I'll have to watch the replay and figure out.
Okay, mate. Thank you very much. Is there anyone you want to put a shout out there? You can always come back after the third race, obviously, if you want, huh?
Yeah, cool. I'll thank Clyde for not racing and meaning that I get more positions. It's quite good, really, isn't it? I'll let you interview Mike because he's been waiting in the interview room for a while.
Right. Thank you very much, Pete. See you
Cheers.
later. Cheers. Right. Can we drag Mike up, please? Mike, hello. Do you hear me? Mike Taliancic. Hello, mate. Do you read?
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm really good. And you? So how was the race, mate?
Pretty interesting. That start wasn't too great. Ended up with bent steering, which made the whole race quite challenging, but I still had a bit of pace behind me, so I kept pushing on.
Right. Did you have major damage after that, or was it still okay to drive?
The car still had power, it just had bent steering, so it was
Oh no.
left hand down on all the straights, and it turned the right corners a little bit better than the left.
Okay.
Wasn't exactly ideal. Had a lot of fun in that first race, though. It's not the way I usually race, but hey, if we want to go that way, I'll race hard.
We saw that you had an awesome battle actually with who was it? Was it Victor Tanaka? I think. No,
Yeah, it was Victor.
it was Victor. Yes, we followed you for a while, and it was brilliant to see, man. I've got to say, it's yeah, that was really good. Um, so was it really? I mean, we mentioned before that this race was the track was really hotter than the previous race. Um, were you being a lot more careful with your brakings and your turn-ins, especially since you had damage?
It was more the damage that was affecting me, but I was still pushing on pretty hard. I'm probably a bit of a hot track specialist, to be honest. I'm really good at conserving my tires and keeping my pace throughout a race, so I tend to go better than most in a hot track. I think if I didn't get that damage, I would have been able to push right through, maybe even challenge Harold there. But well done to Harold. Like, good to see him up there winning.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. He's done a brilliant race. Yeah, that's for sure. And well, just gotta say props to you, man, because well, you started 17, finished fourth, 13 positions gained. That's wow. Hats off to you, man.
Thank you very much. I'll try and put on a good show for the next race.
Definitely, definitely. Right, thank you very much. So have fun out there for the last race. And if you want, you can always come back after the third race. All right.
Cool. We'll see how we go.
See you, man. Ciao, ciao. Okay, and that's about it. We can wrap this race up. See you on the next one then. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to this third and last race of this evening for the V8 ESC, the European V8 Supercars. I'm here in the commentary booth with Clyde Whiting and Samuel Buzyn. So, Clyde, how is it going? We've had a couple good races so far. The track has now a cooler temperature, it seems. What do you reckon? What's going to happen in this one?
Yeah, like you say, track is currently 20 degrees cooler than it was for the previous race, which should help the guys with their braking and the grip. A little bit less sliding for some, probably still a lot of sliding for others. Yeah, race three. Historically, when we've done super sprint races in the V8s, race three has always been the wild one. However, race two was fairly wild. Well, turn one was anyway. So let's hope that a lot of the guys have got the aggression out of their systems and we can see some nice, clean racing in race three. I'd say that with everything crossed.
You better cross everything, yeah. We'll see how it goes, and we've got really extremely fast guys out there. I mean, Sam was telling me earlier that Johnny almost broke the record for this track. And that was in the previous race, which was 42 degrees Celsius. Very, very hot track. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see again how they make their way into the field. And hopefully this time they won't get caught up into the turn one mess. We saw that last time around. It was yeah, Victor and Johnny. They started from the pits, which was well apparently a very good decision. So yeah, they avoided the turn one mess, and we'll see what Tony does on this one.
Yeah, starting from the pits is okay until everybody does it, apart from the pole sitter, and the pole sitter just drives away into the distance.
Yeah. Well, I hope I hope it's not going to be the case. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we certainly will. You know, in fairness, both races, we've seen some fantastic battles out there. I'm sure we're going to see plenty more battles in this race. And again, it is, you know, how will the fast guys handle the traffic, get through, keep the car clean, don't toast the tyres. And by the time they get up into the top five, whoever's in the lead, you know, have they got a lead that they can defend all the way to the end, which is basically what Harold did in race two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was really happy to see him get that win. It was well deserved. He drove it. He drove it really well. Nothing to say otherwise. So yeah, pleasant thing to see, and I'm hoping he's going to get a very good result as well on this one.
Yeah, I think Harold pretty much drove the perfect race. You know, he started up the front with Adam, um, took his time, got past Adam clean, um, built a lead, and then by the time the Brandons and Taliancic and Tanakas were, you know, through all the slower cars, he just had a lead that nobody could catch. He kept his nose clean, kept the car on the track, didn't do anything silly, and you know that's how you win races in this league.
You're right, man. I mean, definitely no overdriving the car and keeping your nose clean and all that good stuff. That's really what gets you the points with this car and this league. And that's what he did. And hopefully that's what everybody's going to do for this race. Right. Right. So to give you a quick rundown on the grades, For this third race, we have Lane O'Connor starting in P1, followed by Erling Burner in P2, Michael Frost, Gary Croft, and Greg Carr in P5. To you, Clyde.
And we've got Corey Clark starting 6th, Andrew Hoffman 7th, George McClay 8th. And I can't see the rest of the grid.
That's all right. I'll follow up. After that, we got Ben Gillet in P9, followed by Dave Johnson, P10. Tony Kloosterman will be behind him in P11, and Pete Bingham in P12. And I think we've got the green flag in a few seconds now, actually, and we're on.
Gary
Okay.
Croft is my
Three
tip
wide
for the
already.
top.
And Andrew Hoffman all kind of sideways there in turn 1.
Yeah, I think everybody got through this time.
We've got a clean start. Still 3 wide, even 4 wide there on the straight. Oh my lord.
That's got her end in tears. I can hear some crashing.
Is
Tony
that
Kloosterman was all
three?
kinds of sideways, and
Whoa!
he's round.
I think people are really pushing now. That's right, that's what we like to see, you know, a little bit of scraping the paint, but everybody stays on track. Pretty respectful. Oh, somebody hit the barrier there. It's Michael Frost. Looks like he blew his engine. Oh no.
Yeah, there's definitely a barbecue coming out of there.
It's too bad Bill Switzer isn't here.
Yeah, Bill would have been proud of that one.
So up the field now, we've got side by side with McNally and Taljancic coming up the front straight. Oh, no more side by side.
Good fight on for the lead now, Lane and Gary. And there's still side-by-side battles all the way down.
Dave just did a classic.
Yeah, I think that was teammate on teammate.
That's right. Yeah. Who then hits Hoffman? Whoa. Okay, boys, now just settle down for a little bit, okay?
Oh, here we go again. I think Taljancic has got another bump.
Yeah, I think you see now that the drivers are really eager to get past, you know, and have the result in that last race.
Yeah,
Really,
there's certainly not a lot of patience about, is there?
no, it's just all out, pedal in the middle, and yeah.
Now, I don't want to get you too excited, JP, but George is up to 4th. I'm sure he'll appreciate you not saying his name.
Right. I'm not gonna say anything right now. I'm thinking it very, very loud, but...
Gary Croft has taken the lead.
What happened there? So Brandon was very near to, yeah, side by side with Ben Galley. Got it. No, yeah, that just a little bit of contact between the two, and then they got sideways and he got hit from behind.
Yeah, it looks like one of them where the cars stick together.
Yeah, it does. And they were so
However,
close, to be honest.
have you seen Andrew? I'd love to see on board from Andrew Hoffman on that incident.
Oh yes, please.
Talk about thread a needle. Just watch this, folks.
Wow. Well, that's a few people out the race, I guess. We got even more mayhem going on. Jesus, boys. Ugh. So there was, yeah, Dave was pretty late on the brakes. And, a little bit of three-wide action there, but it didn't go very well. That's a shame.
Yeah, back at the front, Gary Croft has increased his lead to just over a second. George McClay is fighting like mad to get past Greg Carr.
Go, George.
And my wife has just brought me cheesecake and ice cream.
Happy days. So the good news for Kraft is that most of the leaders from the previous races are into pits. So, right, he's got 30 minutes to go. If he can just keep it straight, stay out of trouble, he's got a good chance of making that work. Although McClay is right there. Let's have a look on lap times. 34, 36, 35 for McClay.
Yeah, McClay's now up to third, but he's still got to get past Lane O'Connor.
Oh. Yeah, we've got Johnny Brandon waiting for an interview. Should we grab it?
Do it.
Can you drag him along? Johnny Brandon, do you read? I think he's not ready. Maybe we'll get to him a little bit later.
Yeah, George McClay has got past Lane O'Connor. He's got a 1.5 second gap to Gary Croft, but we also have the lapped car of Harold Stadler sat in the middle. But I'm sure if Harold doesn't go past Gary, I'm sure he'll move out of the way and let George pass.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring Johnny Brandon back in.
Hello?
Hey Johnny, how is it going?
Yeah, not bad. Could be better.
Yeah, we saw that incident with them. It looks like both of your cars kind of were stuck in some kind of vortex together. I don't really know what happened
Yeah.
there.
I don't know. Felt like it come over. But doesn't matter. Race is over.
Ah, sorry to hear that, mate. Well, you've done really two great races out there. To be fair, on the second one you gained what was it? like 20 positions. So
Yeah, I
very
got caught up
tragic.
in the accident at the start. Tried my best to avoid it, but I got caught up, and I think I got to second with the damage. I think, luckily for me, nearly everybody else had damage as well. So
Yeah, lots of cars was damaged at this point. So yeah, but we've talked to Mike Talianchis as well, and his car was really damaged. So just gonna say I didn't get the chance to tell him, but props to you guys also for just finishing the race with damaged cars and with the pace you're running. It's incredible. I mean, props to
yeah,
you.
I think I got away a lot lighter than Mike did. I think Mike's damage was quite a bit worse than mine. So mine, I had a little bit of understeer, the steering was a little bit off, but at the end, I think I was a little bit slow on the straights. But apart from that, it wasn't too bad. Whereas Mike's car looked pretty bad. I think it was perfect.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
bad.
Mike was saying to us that his steering was bent. So yeah, Johnny, just a word on the track. Obviously, we've not raced the V8 here since season 3. How do you feel the car is round this track?
Yeah, it's always a bit of a beast. Doesn't matter where it is, so you got to be very careful on the throttle around it. But it feels quite good. Quite surprised to have the pace I had in race 1, to be honest, compared to the other usual suspects. So it's a good sign going forward, but I'm sure they'll be working hard to sort that out for next week. So happy on the one hand and a bit disappointed I've given the game away for next week on the other hand. So. But the track's great. I enjoy the track. Yeah, just another track for me. In this car, they're all pretty difficult. You need to know where you can and where you can't get on the throttle. And yeah, good fun. Shame it's over though, like I say, but great fun. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, if it's any consolation, you have been nominated for the most spectacular crash of the night. And saying that, George has just lost it under braking into turn 1 and taken Gary out.
George, you got a few incidents with George to choose from, I think. Sorry, George.
From the camera angle I was watching, it actually looked pretty good because the two cars behind, and I didn't see who it was, but they actually slid round the corner to avoid the accident as well.
Where was this? Into turn 1?
Into turn 1, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky there because you sort of start braking initially uphill and then the end of the braking zone is downhill. And it's quite easy to just snatch the brake or lock the diff on a down change. If once you start getting in trouble in this car on the brakes, you're in trouble. There's no getting out of it. So, especially when the track starts going downhill, there it can be quite tricky. To be fair.
Yeah, it looked like George locked up the rear end, rubbed the wall, and obviously caused the contact with Gary. And then closely following behind was, I believe it was Tony Clouston and Greg Carr, who both slammed on the brakes and slid round the corner to avoid it. So all looked like it was very well synchronised.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, locking up snatching the rears, that could be a break in. It could just be on a downshift, maybe just downshifted a bit too early without blipping the car. But yeah, it's definitely tricky, that braking area into turn 1. Obviously, it's the fastest braking spot on the track as well. So downhill, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, most definitely. But after all that, that's given Tony Clouston the lead. So, Johnny.
Oh, great stuff. Glad to hear it.
It's all going better and better for you tonight.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I've just got to find something nice to send Ben. And the evening will be
Something nice like, a horse's head?
Yeah, I might have something lying around. I'll have a look. It's all good fun. But he didn't do it deliberately. I think he drifted across a bit, but like I say, it's racing. It's just a shame because, I had unusually good pace compared to others. I wasn't really expecting, so I was pretty confident and trying to take it easy and give plenty of room to people. I was in no rush there because I knew I had some pace in my pocket. So, yeah, a bit frustrating, but there you go. He didn't want to crash and end his race, did he? So, one of those things.
No, well, we appreciate you dropping in for an interview anyway. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, just all you guys for the great job you do. Really happy that the league started up again. Sprint series looks like it could be quite good and something different, and looking forward to the main series next week. So well done, guys. Can't wait for that. Thanks to everyone at XVR. Obviously, putting a little bit of time on the setup between all of us. We've all done a little bit this time, and give a shout out to my teammate Foggy, the reigning champion, who couldn't be here today. He had a couple of issues he had to sort out. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to Samortal on the car. Check it out if you want your model with your favourite sim racing car. VRA. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and just to something you just said there about Simortal.
They're fantastic. If you haven't, you know,
The job that they do on them cars is absolutely brilliant. I did make some inquiries about getting some V8s done, but the die casts themselves are that expensive to get hold of because you have to get them from Australia. The price sort of put me off, but you never know. One day we might get something.
that's it. You never know. It's and they can do any car. So anybody that's watching maybe doesn't race the V8s, faces that they can do any car in any series with any livery you want, pretty much. There, check them out. Simple. Anyway, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the race. See you next week.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. So back to the race, and Tony Kloosterman leads Greg Carr by a second, with Lane O'Connor another 2 seconds behind. Michael Mullard, not so Mullard in this race, in 4th place, and Victor Tanaka is in 5th.
And I'm not so sure what happened to Mark Clay there. He had a contact, I think it was with Tony, and then he stopped the car whilst we was talking to Johnny. I'm not so sure what happened. Yeah, okay. Well, I think he got some damage probably from the contact and decided to park it. Because I don't see him running anymore. No, still parked. Well, that's 3 for 3, isn't it?
Well, I must admit, when you do, just seen Andrew Hoffman charge into the back of Ronald Moons there. Yeah, as I was going to say, I think when you curse somebody, JP, you do it for the whole night, not just for a single race.
You know what? That's your fault. That's your fault, Clyde. Yeah, should we go on board with...
Yeah, let's go on board with our leader, Tony Kloosterman, for a lap round the beautiful Interlagos circuit.
And that's good because we can use our beautiful track map as well. If I can find it again.
Yeah, don't forget Young Cow.
Oh, I had it right there. Oh, there you go. Right. Yeah, and I think that's the corner you like, Clyde. sorry for my horrid pronunciation. It's Yunsao? What was it?
Young cow.
Young Cow, that's the one, yeah. And that's about it.
Just watching the onboard with Tony, you can actually see the elevation changes in this track, which when you look at it at first glance, it does look fairly flat, but you know there's some proper mountains on this track.
Especially in turn one. That is why it's so famous, you know, because it slightly goes downhill. The car gets a little light and it's a hard braking zone.
And Tony Klosterman crosses the line. Well done, Tony. Greg Carr, his teammate, following him home in second, and a very well-deserved third place for Lane O'Connor. Oh.
Right, it's okay, we carry on. So, you're right, I think you're just a little bit into the future just for us, you know, right? Because Tony is about to cross the line right now. In a few seconds. Followed by Greg Carr, only a few seconds behind. Possibly even less.
So if anybody would like to know next week's lotto numbers, just give me a shout.
Just give Clyde a PM. So Tony Klosterman takes the win for his third race here at Interlagos of the V8 Supercars Championship. Very well done by the Canadian driver. Right, so that race was a little bit hectic, I've got to say, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, so a shame about the contact with McClay and Croft, because that could have been a very, very good battle.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think we can go through results right now and then get a few interviews. Right, Sam, have you got them up? Perfect. Right, so race winner of this third race is Tony Klosterman. Very well done. Congratulations. P2 is Greg Carr. Congratulations to him. And the last of the podium here, P3 is Lane O'Connor. Victor Tanaka gets fourth place, and Michael Mueller gets fifth. I think it's fair to say that's his best result so far. I think gonna have to check with him, but very well done on him. Clyde, I'll let you go.
So we have Ronald Moon's brilliant drive in sixth place, Greg Branch in seventh, Mike Taliancic up from the back in eighth, Adam McNally in ninth, and my teammate Pete Bingham in 10th.
Right, followed by Gary Croft, P11. I'm not so sure what happened to him. Did I miss that? He was running in.
That was the incident with George at the front.
All right, okay. Corey Clark take 12th position. Andrew Hoffman 13th. Harold Stadler 14th. He had to stop for an unknown reason. We might have to check that with him. And Erling Böhmer in 15th.
And drivers further laps down, we have George McClay in 16th, Dave Janssen in 17th, Johnny Brandon, who we heard from earlier, in 18th, Ben Gillet in 19th, and Mike Frost in 20th. And that rounds up the finishing order for race 3.
Perfect. Should we take some interviews now? How about we talk to Harold Stadler? If somebody can drag him up. Harold Stadler, do you copy? Harold? Okay, let's get someone else. Let's get Tony inside. Tony Kloosterman, hello, do you copy?
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh, well, we're all right, just watching the race, drinking non-alcoholic beverage. All good?
Awesome. I'm sure that Clyde's got a cider in his hand, though.
No. Why would you say
Guilty.
that? So, Tony, how has it been? I mean, congratulations on that win in the first race.
Well, first race was second behind Johnny. Johnny had outright pace over everyone. Second race, I tried to avoid all that carnage in turn one, went to the outside of the track and still somehow managed to get hit by someone. I'm not sure who that was. And then the third race, it could have been all over in turn four, I think. It was pretty sideways there. I'm sure you caught on the broadcast. But fought back, and unfortunate incident between George and Gary going into turn one handed the position over to me. So it's not nice to see it end that way. I would prefer to battle it out, but not a bad day overall.
So you're following your teammate who's winning, and he has an accident with the guy in second place. Truthfully, under your helmet, are you giggling and going, yes, this race is now mine? Or are you genuinely upset that your teammate has been taken out?
No, I was not happy with that situation. I could see it from half a straightaway back that George kind of lost it under braking, I think, and that's not the way we want any race to end. I think we'd rather race for it, and I was actually looking forward to seeing if I had enough pace to catch those guys. So, in the end, it is what it is. And hopefully we get that stuff out of the way this weekend. We had all the sprint races. I think we had some carnage that we wouldn't want to see next weekend, and perhaps everyone will be on a little better behavior.
Yeah, I fully agree. I would also recommend anybody going back and watching that replay of the incident with George and Gary, and then watch Greg and Tony synchronized sliding round the corner to try and avoid George sitting in the middle of the track. It was very good.
Yeah. I thought I was going to hit Gary there, but somehow managed to get around.
Okay, so next week, main series starts. Tony, same track, same car. What are your hopes? What have you learned from this weekend?
Well, Gary Croft did some work on setup this week, and we thought we had something that was pretty competitive, but Johnny proved us wrong. He had about 2 or 3 tenths better pace than us. So back to the drawing board on Monday, and we'll see if we can't find 3 tenths.
Okie dokie, good luck with that. So before we let you go, congratulations on your win in race 3, and anybody you'd like to thank?
Our team, Never Quit Racing, all the guys work really well together. Racetech for sponsoring our series. We're very grateful for them stepping in. They got some great equipment. People should check them out. And thanks for doing the broadcast, guys. Take care.
Yeah, and thanks to you, Tony, for another great interview.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys, who do we want next?
Yeah, should we talk to George? Hello, George. Are you there?
All right, guys, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Aye, well, could have been better, to be honest. Racing for me the night didn't go too well.
Yeah, we've seen that things didn't go too well on that last race. Could you maybe give us some context about the contact? You choose not to go further after that, so you parked it. Can you tell us what happened really there, and what was your what did you think and stuff like that?
Well, obviously coming into turn one, I thought there was a gap on the left-hand side, and there was a gap, and I went for the gap, and obviously in the braking, I think Gary moved slightly out to the left, but it's still obviously it was still my fault, but it was my fault, and I made the contact, and I got by. The car was totally fine, but I just didn't want to take the lead like that, so I'm just gonna pulled off and let them go.
All right. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Really sorry about that. But you know, it happens. That's racing, and sometimes you have bad times, I guess. Yeah. So about there's a new season coming up. It's starting next week. We've seen you with great pace and really. I mean, I'm going to be fair to you. You're a promising driver. I mean, I've put my money on you from race one. And well, can you tell us what are your expectations for the season? Do you have goals or stuff like that?
Definitely, aye. It is a long season. I do plan on taking part in the full season, but anything can happen in that time. But hope to get a good result. As long as I didn't drive like tonight, then hopefully it should do not too bad.
Well, I wish you good fortune, mate, and I think your promising performance will pay up one day, definitely. And if it's not next weekend, it's gonna be the next, you know. So
I hopefully get the bad one out of the way this week, and then hopefully onto the good one next week.
yeah, definitely. Cool, thank you for that. Is there anyone you want to do a shout out?
I obviously you guys for doing the broadcast. I'm looking forward to watching it later on, and obviously the team for giving us setups for doing the races.
Right, thank you very much, then. Well, I think we'll see you next weekend.
Okay, guys, I think we can get Harold Stadler back now. He's got his push to talk button sorted out.
Sweet. Harold? Harold Stadler, you copy. Doesn't want to talk to us yet.
Okay.
All right. Should we get Lane O'Connor maybe? Hey Lane, hello. Do you copy?
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling good today. Aye.
Is this Lane O'Connor or Lane O'Connor?
It's definitely not air. It's definitely or.
Oh, all right. So very congratulations for the podium on the last race, mate. Very well done.
Yeah, cheers. That's my very first.
Tell me about it.
What's the secret to it, Lane? Did you just try and avoid all the carnage and drive steadily, or was you within the limits, or was you actually pushing hard and trying to go places?
I would say for the first 4 or 5 laps, I was basically just driving steady, and anybody that was getting big in my mirror, I was just going to let them go. Because if I'd have tried to keep up with the guys at that time, I think I would have dropped it. But as the race went on and people started getting into problems, then I started pushing it, and I basically was hanging on the rest of the race.
Yeah, from what we were seeing, it looked like the guys that were making up lots of places at the start of the race were possibly cooking their tyres and then struggling late on. Whereas you in that final race, I'll have a look at your lap times at some point. It just looked like you was consistently doing the same lap after lap after lap, and it got you a great result.
Yeah, you've got that spot on. I think with letting people past and just driving my own race in the beginning, my tyres were okay. I think it was, who was it that was in front of me? Greg Carr, was it? I could see he'd cooked his tyres, and I kept coming up, I kept getting close to him. But I didn't really want to do anything about it. I just wanted to drive my race. So.
Yeah, well, it certainly worked for you, mate. Main series starting next week. A, are you likely to be in it? And B, if you are, what are your hopes for the season?
I'm definitely going to be in it. It was due to work and stuff like that and family that I couldn't really make the last season. But it looks like everyone's sorted out and I should be doing the full season. But my hopes are to finish top 10 as many times as possible. If I can get top 10, a higher percentage than my last full season, then that'll do good for me. I mean, the thing is, I'm practicing with Johnny Brandon and Nicole Foggy and stuff like that, and they're constantly giving me tips. They're helping me out with the setups and stuff like that. So I've probably got a bit of an advantage that way. And plus, this is the only racing I'm doing is the V8, and I think that helps as well.
Yeah, that certainly does help. I will give you a pro tip. Whatever Johnny Brandon and Nicole Foggy tell you to do the exact opposite, because them two are absolutely useless, mate. Just don't take any notice of them and do your own thing.
I like to humour them, though.
But yeah, well done tonight, mate.
Well
Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go and carry on with the interview?
Yeah, obviously yourself, Clyde, and Sam, and everybody that's doing the broadcast, and obviously my teammates for helping us out, basically, and everybody else in the championship.
Okay, well done again, mate, and we'll see you next week.
Right, cheers, guys.
Sweet, thank you. Right.
Okay, shall we try Harold again?
Let's do it. Harold, can you hear us? You're muted. Oh, there you go. Harold?
He's there. He has a voice. It's
Yeah.
Harold.
Hey, dude.
Working?
It is.
Oh, nice. I got the message. I don't have the permission to speak in that channel now, but anyway, it works.
Oh, it's fine then. Cool. Glad you worked it out. All right. So we're a bit confused about what happened exactly on the last race. Could you walk us over that?
The last race was pretty simple. I was following Johnny Brandon to through the field. We were starting in the last row, and he got somehow magneted together with another car, went to the left into the barriers, and when I got past, or I wanted to pass, he came somehow free and crossed just in front of me, 90 degrees, the road somehow, and I just crashed him and me. So that was just bad luck for us too, I guess. I haven't watched the replay yet, so I don't know what exactly happened to him and the other guy, why they got together. But as I said, they went together, left in the barrier, and then when Johnny came free, he out of the blue crossed back into my line. So that was just bad luck for us, I guess. And then I had to tow because my engine was done, and I took the fast repair.
All right. Okay. That explains it. Yeah. Well, from what I could gather, it looked like a racing incident. I don't know, Clyde. Correct me if I'm wrong. But from my point of view, yeah. I mean, could have been avoidable, perhaps. But I mean, that's what happens in racing sometimes, you know. So
Yeah, I think from our angle, it did look like a racing incident. Well, one thing we was talking about in the broadcast, Harold, is obviously you haven't been in the league that long, but you're probably the most improved driver over the last 6 months. Just for the slower drivers out there, the drivers that are struggling, how are you managing to improve week on week? Is it just pounding laps, day in, day out, or have you hit a sweet spot on the setup? What's getting you up there in amongst the fast boys?
Oh, good question. Well, I honestly I don't know. It's just getting used to the car. I mean, I haven't driven the V8 before I joined the league, so it was just like getting used to the car. Maybe what I'm having now is my normal speed, I guess, because in the last races there wasn't that much improvement. Maybe in consistency, yes, but not from the pace. And today, okay, I have to say today it was quite a good day, except from the races where race 1 I messed up, and race 3 I had the incident with Johnny. And oh, just a moment, I have to switch off something. I got something on my ears. Sorry, replay was running on the other monitor.
no problem.
Yeah, as I said, I think it was just consistency, and I bet it was just running laps after laps. I don't have a sweet spot in the setup yet. I'm still struggling a bit. Today I guess I got some of the tire pressures, at least in the races, right? But according to the qualifying, it was still a second to Johnny. Nothing improved, I think, in case of raw pace, I think.
Okay, well, if you do find that sweet spot in the setup, can you let us know, please?
Of course.
So, obviously, the main series starts next week. I'm presuming and hoping that you're going to do a full season with us. What are your hopes for the main series? Where do you think? How far do you think you can get up the league table?
Well, you may remember my prediction vote. So I voted myself to P4. So I think I try to improve step by step. So I wanna take one more step, one more place up. I don't know. I don't think that I'm fast enough to get guys like Johnny or Nicole Foggy or Tony. Maybe Tony I can try sometimes to get him, but not over a season, I guess. So I think it will be. I aim for P4.
Yeah, I think you'll get Tony. Tony's getting old. I predict that we'll see your name on the podium at least 3 or 4 times next season. So well done tonight, Harold. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Of course, I'd like to thank you for the series and the organizing and everything, and and my new team, SG Stern, which is quite a nice team, but obviously again no V8 driver, sadly. Of course, thanks to ISA TV, Samuel, and JP for broadcasting the sprint series.
Okay, thank you, Harold. Thanks for talking to us. Thanks for showing up tonight, and well done on the races. We'll let you go.
Thank you. See you next week.
Thanks, Harold. See ya.
Okay, well, next I was going to get Victor Tanaka and Mike Taliancic in together because I know Mike has been up all night, but I think sleep has finally got the better of him. So, last interview with the Tanaka.
Victor, hello, do you copy?
Earth to Victor.
Oh, he says hold on. We're holding on, mate.
So in this short interlude whilst Victor's on the toilet.
Hello. Yeah, I don't have a push to talk. Come on, guys, gotta let me set it up.
How is it going, mate?
Good. How are you guys?
All good. This has been a pretty eventful event. Yeah, whatever. So, good racing all around. We've seen you having some good battles. You had a good battle on race 1. We followed that for a bit. I think it was. I don't remember.
Me and Michael Ted and Jack.
Yeah, that was Michael. Yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit about that? Did you enjoy that?
Absolutely, yeah. That was pretty much all race long. I was holding back, and just on his draft for about 3 laps or so, and then I started getting a little more aggressive, putting the nose in here and there. But yeah, I was telling him, he has had plenty of practice racing like that with the guy that stops, so he knows what he's doing. And then he started doing it back to me once I got past.
Yeah, we watched on the broadcast at least a lap of you two side by side, one overtaking the other one coming back. What's that like? As the driver, are you finding places that you're stronger than other people and choosing those moments to go past them, or are your moves opportunistic? So somebody goes slightly wide and you put your nose in.
It's a bit of both, but when you're racing a guy like Michael, he's not gonna give you that, mistake. So you pretty much have to get creative around it. He had a setup that he was really fast on the straight, so I was pretty much never close enough to try to send it into turn 1. So it was mostly in the slow section of the track where I would really catch up to him. And that's when I really gave him a few challenges there into the slower corners, and that's where I ultimately got my pass done.
Yeah, well, that's I say it was entertaining for us, and obviously people that have watched this back at a later date, they would have thoroughly enjoyed it. So well done on that. We've got the new season coming up. Hopefully you're going to be with us for the full season. I know Tony's counting on that. Driver predictions. I believe Victor Tanaka said Victor Tanaka is going to win the championship after tonight. Do you still stick by that?
Absolutely, yeah, because I'm counting on on Brandon and Michael and Tony getting caught up in their own battles, and I'll just go through. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. And yeah, like even today, this is usually one of my worst tracks, and I really don't like it. But we've been working hard with setups and stuff, and yeah, it's finally getting on. Like I'm finally learning where I can gain time and getting more and more consistent. So yeah, it wasn't. I didn't actually hate driving around today, which I usually do around this place.
And I know from experience, a few seasons ago, you were solely driving the V8 most of the time. Last couple of seasons, you've been pretty much racing anything with wheels on it. What are your plans going forward? Are you going to concentrate a bit more on the V8, or are you going to carry on racing lawnmowers and wheelbarrows?
So I'll say that the V8 is pretty much my my fun hobby when it comes to sim racing. I just like racing anything. I don't really they're the cars that I enjoy more driving than the others. But I pretty much go wherever competition is. I do have plans to to try to practice hard and try to go for the pro license in the GTE cars. So in the road side of things, in the endurance championships and stuff. I'm not sure if I have the skill or or the um the commitment, to actually go and practice and be as good as you have to be to get a pro license. But I'll definitely give it a shot. But yeah, but the V8 it was the very first car that I've learned in iRacing. It's made me, the driver that I am today. It usually makes me faster on every other car just because the V8, it's its own thing. It's so hard to pick up. So, it made me a better driver on every other car out in iRacing. Yeah, so I'll never stop racing it. It's definitely my fun. It's the most fun that I have is driving the V8. But yeah, I'll just keep on. I'll try to make the whole season. If halfway through, if I'm in a position to actually win it, then maybe I'll put some more time into it. But as of right now, I'm just in for the fun.
Brilliant. Well, everybody in the league wishes you the best, for getting your pro license. Personally, I think you've got the skill, but I think the commitment is, something that you need to work on. But if you do get up there into those pro ranks, we expect to see a V8 ESC logo on your car, for a bit of advertising for the league.
Oh yeah, that'll be awesome. And trust me, like everywhere I go, I tell everybody, about the V8 League, and I'm trying to get as many people as possible in. Me and Tony, we just actually got a guy that I race with in the Canadian league, Slice Sim. So yeah, so Patrick will be joining us for the season, and he's a very good driver. So it's gonna be fun to have.
Sweet.
Excellent. Well, that's it from me. JP, anything else you want to ask Victor?
No, really, that's pretty much it. I mean, we were saying on the broadcast that, Victor, you're one of these guys where you have these abilities compared to us slower drivers, to make it stick around the corner and make the move and overtake. And we're all like, whoa, how does this guy make it stick, And that's why I agree with Clay. I think you definitely have the skills to go pro. And we're really all behind you for that. And we wish you luck, definitely.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. But yeah, so it's I don't know. I've always been good on wheel to wheel racing. Like even if I don't have the pace, I can usually battle a faster guy for a long time. Yeah, I just really have to work hard on finding that extra tenths after hours and hours of practice. And still finding more time. I usually find all the pace that I can in the beginning, and then I stop improving from there. So, hopefully I can change that.
Well, thanks for your time, Victor. Like I say, we wish you all the best in going for pro, and we look forward to seeing you in action next week. Before we wrap up, is there anybody you'd like to thank? Anybody you'd like to mention?
Just everybody from the team. I know Chris couldn't make it today, but yeah, he's been doing very well, with setup development and everything. And also Gary has been doing a lot of testing, and getting us, different approaches to the setups. And yeah, it's showing on the track that everybody's improving and everything. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Thanks for everybody in every Never Quit Racing.
Okay, mate. Well, thank you very much. We're going to wrap up the broadcast, so we will catch you next week.
That's next week. See you on the track, Light.
See you later. Okay, guys, that's all the interviews done, all the racing done. What have we gleaned from this night of racing that's going to help us next weekend?
That's gonna help us. Nothing too much, I think, but we've seen today that there was plenty of things going on, and when you see Harold getting the good results and getting up there with the fast guys and stuff like that, and it brings me a smile on my face. It's always good to see that, and obviously you see all the fast guys being fast, being how they are. That's also a good part of the league. So very excited to the start of this new season. I'm really also anxious to see what the new guys are, up and about. I'll definitely have a look at them and see their progression. That's for sure. That's actually the my favorite thing, seeing a new driver on and following him for a few races, and see how he improves and stuff like that. I don't know. I really love that shit.
Yeah, me too, mate. Something I want to just do each time before we wrap up the broadcast is myself, JP, and Sam. I'd like us to pick a driver of the day. So I'm going to start with you, JP.
Jesus Christ, mate. I mean, come on.
Well, look, you fucked up the predictions for the race winners. You could at least get this right. We're past the watershed now.
Oh, fine. Well, driver of the day. I get Harold Stadler. I mean, got the result in race 2. Pretty strong races, although a couple of incidents happened. He didn't quit. I mean, still got the results. That's pretty impressive to me, and yeah, props to him, definitely.
Good stuff. Sam, your driver of the day.
I would say Davy Hansen for his race in the front. He showed up a really good race 1, I think it was. And yeah, he was really impressive in this one.
Okay, so, and I'm going to be totally different, and I'm going to go for Lane O'Connor, purely for his finish in the third race. He's in a team with some extremely fast drivers, probably under a lot of pressure each week to perform. Didn't get a lot of seat time last season. He's fully committed for this season, and up there at the end in race 3. So yeah, Lane O'Connor's my driver of the day.
Yeah, there you go.
So, folks, you heard it here first. We're all excited for the main series kicking off next weekend, again from Interlagos. We'll be with you on the Saturday evening. But tonight you've seen the first 3 races of the sprint series. We've seen 3 different winners, and things are looking good for the rest of the season. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Thanks to my co-commentator JP and Sam on the cameras. and we will catch you again for the Sprint Series again on ESIA TV in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you very much, Clyde, and thank you very, very much, Sam, for all the cameras and the background work that you guys don't see. Yeah, it's been really awesome to see. And just a final note from me. I mean, this race it brought me to my beginnings, you know, in this series. I'm really happy to see that although the competition has risen a hell of a lot, it's still kind of the same, you know. We've got very fast driver, we've got not so fast driver, and everybody's going full send. Everybody's giving everything he got, and the racing is still good and clean and fair. And that's why we all, you know, stuck to this league for so long. And for that, I thank you all, especially you, Clyde, of course. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna stick around.
Well, thank you guys. And thanks you all for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.